Hello, everybody. This is Kayla again. This is part 2 of my podcast series for the Capstone Project. Today I'm here with my friend Julie on Zoom. Say hello.
Hello.
She's here to kind of help me and give some input on the topic that we're talking about today, which is college dating and how technology plays like a big factor into that. Just kind of diving into everything. We're talking about like all different forms of technology, whether it's just communication, dating apps, social media, Instagram, now TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, everything, and just how prevalent it's become in college, dating lifestyles, and just lifestyle in general. One thing I wanted to talk about first was the kind of benefits of technology when it comes to dating. I think long distance is a great way to use technology and to implement that into a relationship. You have FaceTime, Skype, Zoom now, all these different channels to maintain relationships online. And you know, the whole coronavirus thing, right, Julie? It's like a perfect time for all of this to happen.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to communicate with even anybody without all of this technology. You would only be stuck to your family, and by goodness, that would be something. But yeah, it's definitely making communication so much easier. I can't even imagine being in this situation like 20 years ago, 10 years ago.
Right. So people who probably have already been using these different outlets to, you know, maintain relationships are probably like, yeah, this is nothing new to us. Everyone else is like, oh, how do we interact with everyone? We have to do it all online now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the next thing, although that's beneficial, I wanted to focus on, with my research and stuff, the dating scene that has kind of changed in college and the hookup culture that's developed. There's a lot of apps out there now. I don't know if I'm missing any, but I have Tumblr, Bumble, Hinge. Are there any other apps that people use? There's over 8,000.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Grindr.
Mm-hmm. And I just think that all of them add to this hookup culture that I researched on and I found a bunch of articles on. It's just less dating, more casual. I don't know, would you agree that the mindset of college students is more sexualized and just kind of casual hookups, not really looking for relationships?
I think definitely. And I feel like it comes from the newfound freedom of college and like living away from your parents for the first time and being able to do whatever you want. So a lot of students, I think, take that as an opportunity to explore sexually. And instead of trying to settle down into a relationship, most college students just want to enjoy themselves and figure out what they like. Yeah. And those dating apps are definitely a way to do that.
All those points you made were kind of spot on to what I was picking up from my research. Just this general, like, not knowledge, but like general feeling that everyone is more looking for non-commitment relationships and more of like one-night stands, just casual. I also think that alcohol is a big factor in all of this. It increases this culture just because of like the non-attachment, no qualities that follow along with it. And like just seeing it on social media kind of like promotes it almost. You know, you see everyone else like just hooking up and doing whatever they want, and so that kind of promotes other people too.
Yeah,
Um,
and on the same like level as that, if you are someone who like takes part in the dating apps and all that hookup culture, and you might want to settle down and go into a relationship, people might think you're crazy. Like,
yes.
that's such a faux pas in the online dating or
Hmm.
online meeting apps, that even if that's not what you actually want and you don't just want to hook up with random people, that's gonna be what you end up doing just
Yes.
because that's what everyone else is doing.
I feel like if it's not explicitly said from the beginning, and I think we can both say this both personally and probably aligned with, factual evidence, that like if it's not explicitly made aware of in the beginning, it's kind of like a game of like, no one really knows the intentions, so we're just going to go along with it and continue this same path towards like non-commitment relationship.
100%, because you don't want to be the one to bring up the what are we question that scares people away. It
Mm-hmm.
makes you seem, it has such a negative stigma trying to figure out like where you stand in a relationship with someone.
Absolutely. And I'm pulling facts now from some of the articles that I have in my infographic. 91% of college students feel that their lives are dominated by hookup culture, which I thought was really interesting, and I think it's super accurate. Um,
Hmm.
Today, there are over 49 million actively engaged people in a total of 8,000 different dating apps. So it just shows you like how kind of all over the place everyone is with dating. Like there's no like general knowledge of like, okay, we're looking for people who we want to engage with in college. It's just kind of like, it's more about having fun and entertainment, I feel like.
Definitely. And when my college made the decision to go completely online, the first thing I thought of wasn't, oh my God, my classes, oh, like this and that. It was, oh my God, I can't see like boys anymore. Like, what the heck?
I know.
So it's definitely the focus of college. And that's the first thing that comes to like everyone's mind is like the hookup culture.
Mhm.
So I think this situation definitely like enhanced that, because when we're at home, we're doing pretty much everything that we've done at college. We're doing classes, we're doing whatever. And the only thing's different is that we're not in a cesspool of hormonal people.
Yes, where everyone's on the same like wavelength, just super attracted to everyone and wants to just make the most out of college.
Hmm.
I also have a study. It was a survey taken from 5,000 respondents that were 18 years and older.
Hmm.
They were rating basically like their experiences with dating apps in college. 14% said it was very positive. You had 43% saying it was somewhat positive. I'm trying to like relate what I would put in the situation. 33% said it was somewhat negative, and then 9% said it was very negative. Before we talk about it, some of the factors that were like that prompted these individuals to rate their experiences were like sexual harassment, name calling, threats, and unwanted graphic images, which I think is just like the epitome of how dating is now, just based on like the sexualized nature of everything. And I don't know if you had any input on those statistics, but I definitely think that's accurate.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And especially with, again, the hookup culture, most of those answers were in the middle because they probably met someone, hooked up with them, and if they didn't like them and went on with their day, fine, they went on to the next person. But a lot of times, if someone finds someone on a dating app, they hook up and then they end up liking them, and
Mm,
then they're upset because nothing more came out of it. but then they still went on to the next one, whatever. So they're not entirely pleased, but they're not entirely upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a product of the environment at college and on those dating apps in general.
And I think being two women in two different universities, like, we definitely know firsthand how this environment is and how it kind of, you know, not affects us, but how it changes our perspective on dating. I think it's totally different now. And it's so
Yeah.
much harder to navigate.
You definitely have to have like a certain mindset to download Tinder or to download Bumble, because you know going in like, this is probably not going to turn into anything except for me getting a little upset, having some nice hookup culture, and then getting a little upset after, and then moving on.
For
So yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And I think in general, like, communication has just changed, and it's based around social media, because you have people like more in tune to, you know, watching what people do online and having that like affect them personally and emotionally, whether it's jealousy, you know, this idea of missing out, like FOMO, how that kind of ties into jealousy. You have the potential for things to lead to abuse, like that transition from online to, you know, physical aspects in a relationship. And I just think, like, I don't know, we talk about this all the time. Me and Julie have been good friends for a while. Just the social cues when it comes to dating and just communication in the dating world over phones and over technology is so crazy to navigate. It's impossible.